Become unstoppable, 10 powerful ways to improve your English. Petra, the awakening. There was a time when I thought learning English was just about books, grammar, and endless repetition. I studied the rules, memorized the words, and still felt like something was missing. I could understand sentences, but I couldn't feel the language. It wasn't alive. It wasn't me. Everything changed the day I began to travel. The first stop was Petra, the ancient city carved in rose-colored stone. I remember standing before the treasury at sunrise, the golden light spilling over the desert cliffs. I felt small and infinite at the same time. It reminded me that language, like this city, survives through connection. Every traveler who ever came here left a trace, just like every word we speak leaves one too. A Bedouin man offered me tea. He didn't speak much English, and my Arabic was almost non-existent, but somehow, we communicated. A smile. A gesture. A few simple words. That was when I understood the first real lesson. Language is not about perfection, it's about connection. From Petra, I crossed into Luxor, the city of temples and time. I walked among statues that had watched over centuries of stories. I thought about how English connects billions of voices, just like the carvings on these walls once connected ancient Egyptians. One afternoon, as I spoke with a local guide, he told me something that stayed with me: if you want to keep your language alive, you must speak it, not store it. He was right. I had been studying English, but not living it. From that day, I decided that I would no longer study English like a subject. I would live it as a lifestyle. That decision took me to the Red Sea, where I joined a liveaboard diving trip. For 7 days, I slept under the stars and dove into a world without words, only movement, color, and breath. Underwater, English meant nothing, but communication meant everything. Hand signals, eye contact, patience, these were universal languages. And I realized something powerful: the best way to improve your English is to become a better communicator. Listen deeply. Watch body language. Feel the rhythm of conversation. When I surfaced each day, the crew, from Egypt, England, South Africa, and Spain, shared stories in English around dinner. Their accents, their jokes, their idioms, it was messy and beautiful. I stopped worrying about speaking perfectly and started enjoying the music of diversity. After that trip, I continued diving all over Turkey, from Kos to Fethiye to Bodrum. Each dive, each conversation, became a lesson. I remember teaching a young diver how to equalize. She spoke little English, but through gestures, repetition, and patience, she understood. She laughed, repeated the words back to me, and suddenly we were both learning. That's when I understood another truth: to learn better, you must teach what you know. Every time you explain something in English, no matter how simple, you carve it deeper into your own mind. During those Turkish summers, I began writing short journal entries after each dive, in English. At first, they were just simple notes: visibility 20 meters today. Saw a turtle. But over time, they became stories. Descriptions. Feelings. Soon, I wasn't just learning English, I was expressing myself through it. And that's what English really is, not just a language, but a bridge to your inner voice. Traveling through Turkey taught me to blend learning with living. Whether it was chatting with a cafe owner in Izmir or describing underwater life to a friend from London, every small moment became a practice session, but also a connection. When you see English not as homework, but as part of your identity, everything changes. By the end of that summer, I no longer felt like a student. I felt like a storyteller. And that's the beginning of becoming unstoppable. When I arrived in Paris, it was raining. Not the kind of heavy rain that ruins plans, the soft kind that paints reflections on cobblestone streets. I remember sitting at a small cafe near Montmartre, watching people rush by, hearing fragments of French, Italian, Arabic, and English all blending together. I realized something in that moment: English isn't just a skill. It's a passport. It opens doors, hearts, and possibilities that you didn't even know existed. A young waiter came to my table. His English was broken but brave. He said, "You are traveler?" I smiled. "Yes. And you?" He paused, grinning. I try to be." That small exchange stayed with me. Because that's what language is: courage. Every time you speak, you try to be. You try to connect, to belong, to grow. In Paris, I began recording voice notes of myself every morning, describing what I saw, what I felt, what I planned for the day. At first, it felt strange, talking to my phone in English, my voice echoing softly against the walls of my rented room. But within days, my rhythm improved. My sentences flowed more naturally. That's when I learned the next truth: your voice is your most powerful teacher. Record yourself. Listen. Repeat. It's not about judging your accent, it's about owning your sound. From Paris, I took a train to Rome, the eternal city. There's something about Rome that teaches patience. You can't rush through history, you have to walk it slowly, step by step, just like language. One evening, I wandered into a small piazza where a street musician was singing in Italian. Between songs, he switched to English to greet the tourists. His words weren't perfect, but they were real. Everyone understood him. Everyone felt him. And I thought, this is what learning English should be: expressive, emotional, human. It's not about showing how smart you are. It's about sharing who you are. I spent that week journaling again, this time about gratitude. Gratitude for the mistakes I made, for the words I forgot, for the times I froze mid-sentence. Because every mistake is a map, it points to where you need to go next. When you stop fearing mistakes, you start learning fearlessly. From Rome, I crossed the Adriatic Sea to Montenegro. A land of mountains, quiet harbors, and stories whispered by the wind. I stayed in Kotor Bay, the water still as glass, the hills glowing gold in the late afternoon. I met a group of travelers there, and for the first time, I led a conversation fully in English. No fear, no translation, just flow. That night by the sea, I realized something powerful. Confidence doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from showing up anyway. We laughed, told stories, shared food, and I felt free. I wasn't practicing English anymore. I was living in it. A few months later, my journey took me to South Africa. Cape Town. The land where two oceans meet. It's impossible to stand at the Cape of Good Hope and not feel inspired. The wind hits your face with the weight of the world's stories. There, I volunteered at a small diving center, helping train new divers from all over the world. English was our shared language. Sometimes, instructions were simple: check your air. Follow my lead. But those few words built trust. They built unity. That's when it struck me again: language is leadership. Every time you speak clearly, calmly, and kindly, you lead, even if it's just one person toward understanding. I remember one dive with a young man from Brazil. He was nervous, it was his first time in open water. I spoke to him slowly, repeating each instruction with care. He nodded, breathing steadily. When we surfaced, he said, "Your voice made me calm." It wasn't my English that helped him. It was my presence. That's the secret of great communication. It's not how fast or fluent you are, it's how connected you are. After South Africa, I traveled north to Zanzibar, an island that feels like poetry written by the sea. The air was thick with spice and salt. I spent days diving, walking the beaches, talking with locals, learning Swahili phrases, and mixing languages freely. English there wasn't just a language, it was a bridge between worlds. Fishermen used it to trade, children used it to dream, travelers used it to connect. I met a boy who sold shells on the beach. He asked me, "Why you speak English so good?" I laughed and said, "Because I've made every mistake you can imagine." He smiled and replied, "Then I will make mistakes too." That moment summed up everything. Don't aim to be perfect. Aim to be brave. Every mispronounced word is a step forward. Every awkward silence is progress. Every time you try again, you build fluency in your soul. Zanzibar taught me joy. The joy of expression. The joy of not caring if people think your accent is strange. The joy of being understood, not because of grammar, but because of energy. And that's the real transformation. When I landed in New York, it felt like the world's heartbeat was echoing through the streets. Yellow taxis, flashing lights, people speaking every language imaginable, a symphony of ambition. I remember walking through Times Square late one night. There was energy in the air that said, anything is possible. I sat on a bench and listened. Every few seconds I heard someone use English differently: fast, slow, loud, whispered, broken, perfect, improvised. That's when it hit me: there is no single real English. There is only your English. Your version is shaped by where you've been, who you are, and what you love. In New York, I began to speak without thinking about grammar first. I stopped translating in my head. I trusted my instincts. Fluency isn't about speed, it's about flow. When you let go of control, words begin to dance. From New York, I flew east again, chasing the sun across the Greek islands. White houses, blue domes, laughter spilling out of seaside cafes. I spent afternoons talking with travelers, people from Poland, Japan, Chile, all communicating through English, not perfectly, but passionately. One evening, sitting by the water in Santorini, I watched the sunset paint the horizon in gold. A woman beside me said softly, "Beautiful, yes?" I nodded. "Yes. It feels like the world is telling us to slow down." She smiled. Maybe language does the same. She was right. To learn deeply, you must slow down. Savor words. Listen fully. Don't rush fluency, build it like a friendship. A few months later, I found myself in Ukraine. It was winter, cold, quiet, but full of warmth from the people I met. One evening in a cafe in Lviv, I spoke with a young student who dreamed of moving abroad. She told me she was afraid of speaking English because people might laugh at her accent. I said, "They might laugh once. But if you keep speaking, one day they'll listen." Her eyes lit up. And I realized that advice was for me too. The world belongs to those who keep speaking, even when it's uncomfortable. From Ukraine, I traveled to Basel, Switzerland, a city where precision meets peace. Everything there runs on time, the trams, the clocks, even the river seems disciplined. And yet, beneath that order, there's creativity, street art under bridges, music in hidden corners, languages blending. Basel taught me balance. To grow in English, you need both discipline and play. Study the details, but also laugh, sing, experiment. When you combine structure with spontaneity, you become unstoppable. Looking back now, across all those miles, Petra, Luxor, the Red Sea, Turkey, Paris, Rome, Montenegro, South Africa, Zanzibar, New York, the Greek islands, Ukraine, Basel, I see that every journey was really one lesson in disguise. Learning English isn't about reaching a destination. It's about becoming the kind of person who never stops exploring. Every word you learn is a step. Every conversation is a horizon. Every mistake is a story worth telling. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. So wherever you are, on a train in Europe, in a cafe in Istanbul, on a beach in Zanzibar, or in your living room practicing late at night, remember this: you are becoming unstoppable. Every time you speak, you expand your world. Every time you listen, you grow wiser. Every time you keep trying, you win. Because English isn't just a language. It's your voice. It's your courage. It's your story, and the world is waiting to hear it. Learn English through stories. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to Freestyle American English.